Hey friends, I'm John, and this is my red-tailed boa scarlet. I have quite a few years experience breeding ball pythons and creating social media. Take a quick second to smash those like and subscribe buttons because it helps grow my channel. And let's see what we have going on today. Let's talk about being flexible with our breeding plans. As you guys may or may not know, and I'm here to tell you, your breeding plans should change probably more often than you would think. Usually due to some animals choosing not to breed, not to lock up, whether it's the male or the female. Maybe some snakes aren't growing as fast as they should grow, or you expected to grow, and maybe some of your females aren't developing follicles as fast as they should be. Maybe you have a male that's just not locking up to anybody, and that's gonna eventually affect your breeding plans in general. Now, it's always a nice luxury to have 1 or 2 or 3 females for each project. It's also nice to have backup females for specific projects or extra females for specific projects, but that's maybe not always the case. And this isn't necessarily needing to have multiple snakes to do the same job, but it's having good purchasing decisions that allow you to mix and match snakes if you need to. And this guy, this is Blade, he's here for a specific reason. So he's an Orange Dream Blade pied, het clown, het MJ Xanthic. When I purchased him, he was only pos het MJ, which means there was a 50% chance that he carried the gene, or he didn't. Luckily, I proved it out last year. He was a star for me last season. And now that I'm aware that he's MJ, he became even more important for me for this season. I'm gonna kind of show you why here. I have 2 double visual lightning pied females, and he was bred to both of them. And they are both at this point getting close to ovulation. This is my bigger female here. This is the one that actually had a clutch of lightning pies for me 2 seasons ago. She's about 30 millimeter follicles right now, so she should be ovulating very soon. And this girl here, last time I measured her, 24 millimeter follicles, and you know, they're very close. I mean, they're going to be laying clutches very, very close to each other, and this male was bred to both of them. What that does for me, and I wasn't even sure what to breed these 2 females to until I proved out that he was lightning pied, het lightning pied. Now that I have these 2 females going to him, what this allows me to do is get 2 clutches from 2 big females, and they're gonna have a 50% chance of producing lightning pieds for me. So half of the babies in these 2 clutches should be lightning pieds. They should also have a 50% shot of being either OD or Blade, and they're all going to be 50% pos het clown, which I can test for. So I wasn't even sure what I wanted to breed those 2 females to initially going into the season, because neither one of them bred for me last year, and they've been ready to go for months. And I just didn't know what to do with them until I hatched out actually this female here towards the fall of last year. And I'm not going to pick her up because she just ate. This is actually his little daughter here, this beautiful lightning pied girl that came out in the fall. Once that girl came out of that egg and I proved out that he was het MJ Xanthic, everything changed for me. Now, those 2 females, they came along so fast, and I only usually try to pair my males up to 3, maybe 4 females at a time. That female went so fast, and this female, as you can see, she is at 28 millimeter follicles and absolutely enormous and ready to ovulate here, if she is already. And she's a pastel leopard clown, so he should be making clowns with her. And they will be het pied, and they will be 50% het MJ Xanthic. He bred all of those females so quickly that I was like, well, I need to put them to some more good use. Obviously, he has het MJ Xanthic, he has het clown, he has Orange Dream and Blade. which are two really cool genes that look good in clowns. So I was breeding, or I was attempting to breed another male to this female, but because he wasn't doing a good job of locking her up and she's starting to build, she has 15 millimeter follicles now, which means that, look, this girl needs to have a boy in her tub right now, ready to go. And the other boy wasn't doing it. So now, this male is going to get paired up to this clown pied female. So what that's going to do for me is it's going to make me some potential OD blade clown pieds that are going to be 50% het MJ xanthic. So this is going to be a clown pied clutch. Hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed that I get good odds there. And some of them are going to turn out to be het MJ xanthic. And sticking with the clown pied stuff, this huge female here is also building, and she's pastel clown het pied. And he's also being paired up to her because, again, the male that I was planning to pair her with wasn't doing the job. And because this male is so good at breeding, I decided to make sure that I'm getting the bang for my buck out of him. I even had a change up in my DG clown project. And this girl here, she is a super pastel NC DG clown. She is developing follicles slowly, but she does have some development there. She's ready to go. But the male that I was planning on making DG clowns with her, and I have 3 other females that he's still going to, he's not locking up anybody yet. It's his first season. He's about a year old, but he's not kind of doing the job. So I decided, you know what? This male, he's het clown, he's pied, he is OD and blade, and he's het MJ. This girl is double visual DG clown. So when I produce this clutch, my hope is that I'm going to get a bunch of clowns, right? They're going to be pastel, they're going to have potentially Enchi, OD, and blade. They're going to be het DG, they're going to be het pied, and they're going to be 50% het MJ xanthic. Which is an absolute, I couldn't think of a better project to be in with quads, than something that's going to make you a clown pied DG MJ xanthic. That's what's going to be coming out of this clutch here, and it's a kind of a swerve I had to make with this project because the male that I had planned to breed her to is not getting the job done. Now, some people might tell you that you don't want a lot of the same things, and that's absolutely true, but it depends on what that is. And in this instance, the reason that I took him to both of those lightning pied females was because I can't produce enough double visual lightning pieds, right? And for my future, I want to produce as many of those as I can, and I also want to make sure that they're het clown, because that allows me to produce the lightning clown pied project a little faster. If I produce and I only create 2 or 3 lightning pieds out of both of those out of one of those clutches, and only one of those ends up being het clown, then that's going to make that project take a little longer to get going. But now that I have 2 females going to it, and they were both produced by this guy here, I have twice the odds of producing lightning pieds and twice the odds of producing lightning pieds that are going to be het clown as well. And the same thing goes for the clown pied project that I'm breeding him into as well. I just kind of hit it from a different angle. Make some nice clown pieds that are OD blade. Some of them will be OD blade pastel. I can't test for MJ xanthic yet, which kind of stinks, but I'm hoping by the time any of these clutches hatch that I can do that. But the reason I'm taking him to 2 females, they're gonna make me clown pieds that are kind of very similar in genetics, or that I have, so that I have more double visuals that have the chance of hitting the 3rd het. And there's not many people working that project. The odds of me hitting those snakes aren't very great, hitting all 3 recessive traits in one of those babies. So you kind of need to buckle down and double up and triple up whenever you can. So it's nice and, awesome to, let's take a look over here. This is basically my breeding plan up here. I have the males on this side and I have the females on this side, and I have X's here if the females are ready, and I have how many locks I've witnessed. And I just have that sitting in here, so it's easy for me to take the male and move that male from point A to point B throughout the breeding season. And it's wonderful to have that piece of paper in here, and it's wonderful to have this completely written out, but it changes. And I actually change this paper frequently. If I go through here and I'm seeing that, all right, this is my double het DG clown male, and he has 4 females that are ready to get locked up to, and I'm pairing him, he's ready to go, he's producing sperm plugs, he's almost 1,000 grams, but he's not getting me any locks. So if this continues for too long, and I see some of these females building, and some of them are, let's see, where are we? Down here at the bottom. One of them's at 10, one of them's at 14 already, this girl's at 11. They're starting to build. And if he ends up not actually producing anything, I'm gonna have to move some of those females elsewhere potentially, because I don't want to waste the whole season with those females if that male is just not getting the job done. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of moving this female. She's an OD vanilla clown het DG to, let's see her in here. She actually just had a meal, if you can see her in there. I'm actually thinking of moving her over to an OD pied het DG male, which will get me some potentially super OD vanilla DGs that are going to be het clown and het pied. So, I mean, she might be moving there if that other male doesn't breed for me. So, you definitely need to make your breeding plans, but be flexible with them, because they are probably going to end up needing to change throughout the season, especially if you have a bunch of pairings that you're going to be doing. If you only have 1, 2, or 3 snakes, this really doesn't pertain to you, but as your collection grows, it eventually will. So hopefully that's good information. I'm really excited for this season. It's going to be kind of a slow start. I have no eggs in the incubator this very second, but I have 2 clutches that are dropping this week. And then I have a bunch, 4 or 5 females that should be laying within the next 30, 45 days. But I have a bunch. I mean, these racks are basically filled. These 55-40s and the 70-30 are basically filled with a bunch of females that hopefully I'll go by the end of the season. So this should be a fantastic year. I plan on making bunches of double visuals, maybe some triple visuals if I'm lucky enough. And some really exciting projects. So keep working at it. It's definitely a grind, but when you get a male, when you get a stud like this guy back here, Blade, you use them as much as you can. He's going to be a superstar for me this year. He was last year, and he's going to do it again. So keep him fed, keep him happy, and keep him in with the ladies.